So how do you get ahead financially? Now, I've had these conversations with some friends out in the Philippines before, and I get it from their perspective, because they, when they were kids, they were dirt poor. Because, when I was a kid, I used to skip getting the bus and walk to school, which was a fair trek, I'll be honest with you. But it meant that I could save up and buy computer magazines. How nerdy was I? And keep fit at the same time. Because I think it was about a 10-mile journey or something. But I used to walk it, especially in the summer. But the point being is, you've got to make sacrifices to get ahead. And the reason I brought that one up is the same as I'd skip a meal, I'd skip lunchtime as well if I needed money for something computer related. And my friends in the Philippines says, well, we skip a meal, we pass out. To be fair, that was one of my wife's uncles. He passed away this year, but he became a very successful rice merchant in the Philippines, worth a few quid. But the fact is, that also shows that as a kid, they can only just about afford the 3 meals a day, etc. And went from that to being very successful. I'm not going up there today. But the thing is, for me, it's a bit like with the mortgage. When I took the mortgage on about, 5 years or so now, I knew that was going to be painful. And what I've done is, over the last 5 years, is I've focused on that. So I've paid a lot of my mortgage off. I'm now into the point of about £45,000 left. Bought a new car this month as well, but to be fair, that'll pay for itself. Simply because I'm just doing the airport runs in Alicante is 50 to 60 euros a time. So you think going there and back, that's a minimum 100 euros a time. Soon justifies itself, let's put it that way, if you're flying back regularly. But that's part of it, is clear your debts. Surprising how much life easier is with no debts. But at the same time, I fully understand that when you're in a bad situation and bad debt, it is hard to see the light. But if you don't look for it, you'll never find it. And the only person who can make those decisions is yourself. It's why every month, mortgage gets paid plus a little bit extra. I put money in an investment fund every month. And now I've got the car payments, but even that, I put a hefty deposit down and plan on paying that quite quickly. Because the idea being is, have no debts and get as much into investments, etc. As well as top the bank back up, because we've had a few expenses in the last month. But it all starts with actually working out how much your expenditures are each month, because you'll be surprised how much stuff you spend on things like takeaways and stuff you shouldn't really be wasting money on when you haven't got it. Because one of the problems you have, and most people fall into this, is when you're in debt, you try to get short dopamine hits. Could be the takeaway on a Friday night, could be a bottle of wine every other night, could be going shopping, could be a splurge on Amazon. Best advice, look at where you're spending your money and think about it. Instead of spending that money on a bottle of wine or whatever, pay something off. No, it sounds brutal now, and most people would argue and say, well, that's easy for you to say. Guys, I've already been there, done it. It's like even with the mortgage, it took me about 2 weeks to even sort of contemplate taking on that level of debt. And then the last 5 years, I've been hammering it, because I don't like having any debt at all now. Because once I was free of it, I could go and live in the Philippines for years. And that's the reality. You ask a lot of people why they won't move abroad. A lot of it's down to the mortgage and debt. Clear it, it comes and gives you freedom. Freedom's a bigger glass of wine than actual wine. You'll enjoy it more. It's a never-giving thing. You know, being free, debt-free is a massive thing.